I can just say no chat. Oh, ho, ho. All right. Yes, all right. Most good. There we go. Most good. Most good. We have returned to the closet to smoke and speak on things that have been and are to come. Speaking of things to come, hopefully me, within the next 12 years. 11 years. Yeah. So now with that tasteless joke out of the way, let us speak of other things. Let us speak of what has happened this week. It's been fucking bullshit. Thursday sucked. I got sick, which means I had to waste my Saturday sleeping. That was great. Donna's here. And, okay. Anyway, Thursday fucking sucked. I got sick, so I had to spend my Saturday day off fucking asleep. Sunday was fine, whatever. It was Sunday, it was, whatever. And I'm going to, and we're going to destroy the Taco Bell. That is still happening. That is a plan that has been thrust into motion, and I must do my part. That is what we are doing. I imagine it will be hilarious. It's too bad that I won't be present in person to watch it happen. Then again, I guess I could still DoorDash after work. Ooh, that would be kind of funny to rub it in. Ooh, yeah, that could be really funny. Yeah, that could be hilarious. That could be quite funny. Yes. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll DoorDash just a little bit, just to rub it in. But first things first. I have to actually get the better paying job that also works for day shift, so that way Aiden will. So that way Aiden will stop gently reminding me that I need to be on a day shift schedule. That and I'll be able to sleep at night, and because I'm too lazy to hang up curtains, that means that the light won't bother me as much. Maybe I can finally train myself to not sleep with a pillow over my face. I trained myself to sleep with a pillow on my face, so I'm pretty sure I could train myself to not do that. Which, if my mom was watching this stream, she would then make some snotty comment like, oh yeah, then you can train to not have the watermelon that she claims that I stole. First off, I have possessed it for, 6 years now. It is mine. And secondly, no, I will not relinquish the watermelon, mother. Alright, we can fight over it in hell once I arrive. But until then, it's mine. What are you going to do? Take it from me? Yeah, try it. I'll put you in the ground. I will send you to Satan early. Not that much early. Ugh. I didn't wait long enough after we changed the sodas. Ugh. That is not a satisfying mix. Then again, I think my taste buds are fucked because I've been drinking Mountain Dew Purple all night. Ugh. What kind of fast food establishment that sells Mountain Dew forgets to order Mountain Dew on delivery? You'd think the three things that a Taco Bell would order on their in terms of beverages would be Pepsi, Baja Blast, and just regular Mountain Dew. Fucking. My former trainee turned AGM is trying to play some kind of mental game with me in order to make me angry at her. It's working. It has been working. However, I have not exploded this anger outward. as the Martin just made it so that the boiling point is much higher, I suppose, or something. I don't know. But then again, going to Martinsville did do a lot of good. You know, I felt a lot of the anger wash out of my body, and then a lot of it returned in November. That was real good. That was real nice. Once once I reached a point to where I'm thriving, some of my tax forms have the personal address of the Domino's owners of the Domino's owner, and I'm going to write a letter to his wife, calling her stupid. I am aware, thank you, Donna. But I'm going to write a letter to his wife, calling her stupid and vile, and it's. Yeah, that's stupid, but it's going to make me feel better. Plus, it might elicit a phone call where I get to call her stupid over the phone, which will be quite good. That'll be fun. Or it'll elicit a phone call where I talk to the owner and call his wife stupid to him over the phone, with which I know he will agree with me because he said that shit before. It will be quite good. He will be mad at someone who has said something that he agrees with, and that will probably be really, really confusing, or maybe not. Maybe it's a thing where only he can call his wife stupid behind her back. I cannot say that to her via, a printed text on a page. I'm going to need to steal my mom's printer, because if I hand wrote the letter, not only would she not be able to read it, but it would immediately give away who sent it. So I need to type it out. This is what Google Docs is for, everybody. Calling your former boss's wife stupid and vile. This is what Google Docs was meant for. Then again, considering it is a Google product. Your siblings, okay. Look, Donna, all right, I will continue to call your sister criminally disabled, because I feel that just calling her disabled by itself is not an apt enough description. I am not insulting her in that instance. I am merely attempting to grasp for verbiage I believe to be accurate. You are aware of this. I'm just explaining that to the other one person in the audience who I get the sneaking suspicion might just be my phone being weird. Yeah, but I figured I'd say that out loud just in case she was watching or listening or whatever, just so it's clear. All right? When I insult people, it's pretty clear that I'm doing that, unless you're Kelsey, in which case, you're just gonna cry to James about it and get me in trouble, or at least attempt to. But that's just her being, a disingenuous bitch. But hey, I didn't train her to do that. I think. No, I didn't. Pretty sure I didn't. Probably not. I probably did not train her to act like a cunt. Pretty sure that was just, she was predisposed to that. And without supervision, that's just what she became. She should be thanking me. If I hadn't have left, she would have never become AGM. Yeah, exactly. She should be eternally grateful to me. Not only did I get her off of third shift, upon my return, but if I had never left in the first place, she would have never become AGM. She would have had to sexually assault me and then play an Uno reverse card in order to knock me out of the running for that shit, considering my tenure there. But I just left of my own volition. And here she, and then I return, and, weeks after that, she starts acting like an ungrateful bitch. This is most saddening. Kids these days do not know how to express gratitude. I say of a woman who is older than me, but not by as much as she thinks we are. Did I ever tell you, Donna, that Kelsey seems to think there's a 10-year gap between me and her? I'm pretty sure it's closer to 5. Which is really stupid. But hey, what do I know? What do I know? Anyway, let's light this bad boy up. I've got a little bit more caffeine in my system, and I think the drugs have finished clearing my system. You know, mental stability has, you know, returned to where it was. Yes. You know, hey, I guess that's why she was the perfect pick for upper management in this company, because it seems that most of the upper management, it just consists of just fucking morons. You know, I mean, look at our last few bosses for evidence to support that point. You know, Saggy Tits, Steven, Evan. I'm pretty sure those are the ones that you were there for. You know, upper management of this company is full of morons. Hold on. There we go. It's great. You know, you know, this doesn't even just extend to, you know, like GMs. Previous AGMs were also fucking fools. Alberta. Other AGMs that we've had whose names escape me. Huh. Yeah, I don't remember any of the other AGMs. But then again, you know, I guess if they were important enough for me to remember them, I would. I say that when I have like really, you know, where I say that with the knowledge that I have full well just like either repressed or. Hello. Oh, hello, Dave. Hello, Dave. Look who's. Dave is in the chat. Also, Dave, you know, on a completely serious note, just real quick, you know, sorry for your loss. You know, that's rough. You know, it's real rough. You know, nobody under the age of nobody under the age of 50 should have to endure that. Yeah. Also, who else is in chat? We've got more people catching me live. Anyway, yeah, I mean, tragic event notwithstanding, I hope you are doing all right. Anyway, I'm going to cut this and light this before I get distracted again. Also, as you can kind of see, I have neglected to empty the ashtray. This ashtray was not equipped for Aiden's smoking. I really need to bring the Gurkha ashtray over here. You know, I thought, oh, I could just use the Sereno ashtray for the smoking on the balcony. Yeah, that worked for like a day. Shit. Anyway, alright, I'm gonna try my best here. Hopefully this thing doesn't fucking explode like the last one did. But I also, I also cut the last one with a pocket knife. So, you know. Okay. Anyway. Oh, yes. Dave, as you may or may not be aware, I am no longer living in Martinsville. I have returned to Greenberg. Aiden and I are living together. It's like living with myself if I was a bitter alcoholic. You know, sometimes I say things, and then, you know, I hear myself say them, and that's when I process what I said. Yeah, I'm also going to be escaping the Taco Bell. Shit's real bad. Shit is real bad. Holy fuck. You are extraordinarily out of the loop on things. Saggy Tits is no longer the guy in charge of the Taco Bell. We got some asshat from Rushville, and Kelsey Fucker is the AGM, and they're both ruining everything. Not surprising, yeah. Yeah, Donna is just straight up leaving because she has acquired nerve damage from the job. She's gonna go work at Burger Dong, and I, today, as in Monday, am going to go to Elwood to try and get an office job, but I'm probably gonna end up working at Honda. So fuck it. Fuck it, we ball. I want to make like $21 an hour. It's gonna be. Oh, tell you about it? Fuck. We can make today's stream about the fuck-uppery at Taco Bell. Holy shit. Let me get this lit up. Oh, Dan fucking left because of some stupid drama that was stirred up by said asshat from Rushville's daughter. We will get into all of it. It's going to be so good. Catching you up is going to be fucking wild. Also, Aiden might, wake up and come out here and say a few words, as we are roommates now, and he knows I do this. But honestly, I think it was for the best that Dan got out, because Dan is the type of guy to just like sit in a place where he is miserable and just be miserable. He will not improve his situation without some kind of external force acting upon him. And I believe that James's fat, stupid daughter was an external force acting upon him to push him into a better situation. Yeah, Dan was cool, and I wished, that I could still work with him. But, on the bright side, he's probably doing a lot better. So, on one hand, on the other hand, that kind of shit. Okay. Oh boy, we're gonna get this lit up and then we will start at the beginning. December 20th. I mean, I say he's probably doing better. I don't have any contact with him. His old phone number doesn't work for me. I don't know if he's changed phones. Oh, this is the same room from the previous stream. This is the exact same room from the previous stream. Although you might be thinking a few streams ago, because for some reason, when I do the streams on the phone, using, actually like streaming direct to YouTube from the phone, it marks the streams as private, and so I have to go in manually and unprivate them. So you're probably thinking like a month-ish ago when I was still at my mom's. And yes, you are correct. This is the balcony closet at the new apartment, because there are no screens at the apartment, and I don't want every insect within a 23-mile radius to enter my bedroom, and by extension the rest of the apartment. So at some point, hopefully sooner rather than later, because my mailbox key doesn't work, I need to talk to the property manager about the aforementioned mailbox key and the further aforementioned screens for the windows, because the lease doesn't say anything about that. It says that they would charge us to replace them, but it doesn't say, do we install those ourselves? Do we, what do we do about that? So, questions. Anyway, let me get this lit up. All right. Okay, we're gonna hope that starts burning. Well, there's a lot to learn. Basically, yeah. Anyway, there's a lot that I could rant about that, but We are here to catch Dave up on the Taco Bell situation. So let us begin at the beginning. December 20th, 2025. I had finally returned, and it was my first night on the job. Since my return, obviously not my first night. Anyway, I was rehired as a crew member because for some reason they decided to not rehire me as a manager. Fucking, I don't know. I don't know what the hell that was about. Either way, Donna and I were, of course, getting along swimmingly, and I was keeping my mouth shut around the new crew members so as to learn about them because, I didn't want to say something, in the way that I do and land in hot water. Unfortunately, that seems to have happened anyway, because within the first week, Kelsey Fucker was weaving trouble because of a joke between myself and Donna that she just so happened to overhear. This led to 2 days of work that I was told not to show up to the store by the aforementioned shithead from Rushville. And, Kelsey pretending to be innocent in the whole situation that she caused, which led to the first of 3 problems that she has caused for me directly that I will be referencing when when the news that I am leaving drops and I inevitably have to talk to these people about it. However, we are skipping ahead a little bit. We must return. So, finishing out December, things were good. I remembered that we get bonuses that we never got when Saggy Tits was in charge because, something or other was never good enough probably. I blame Midshift for that one, honestly. Anyway, and Alberta. Anyway. Alright. So, blah, blah, blah. New Year came and went. It was kind of whatever. I started door dashing. I made $30 on New Year's Eve. That shit was awesome. But we're gonna try and keep it to Taco Bell where it's relevant. So let's see, January-ish. They basically decided to just skip me through manager classes because I know more than they do, and they didn't want to admit that. I'm pretty sure the full depth of my knowledge still has not been exposed to them. But Kelsey Fucker is aware that I know absolutely everything and can ruin the store if I wanted to. Not a bad idea, actually. It wouldn't take much. It really would. Anyway. So, I have returned to management status, and Donna did not get the demotion that she so craved for the entirety of this almost 6 months. Funny that. Asking for demotion and then never receiving it. Then again, I guess upon my return, you did basically stop asking for the demotion, so... They might have done it. I doubt it, but they might have. Shit, I don't know. Yeah. Well, I too suffered from depression during this period, but it wasn't related to Taco Bell, ironically enough. That's a story for another time, though. Anyway... So, people come and go, of course, through the store. Diane was there, and she did not sit on my face, which makes me sad. But she works at the dollar store now that's near my apartment, so I might be able to get her to sit on my face. That would be awesome. That would be really great. And plus, it would make Lexi really, really mad, which would be hilarious. Lexi looks like the kind of horrible shit-ridden child that could use 2 stepdads, and she should give her mom my phone number. She shouldn't give my mom her phone number. That doesn't make sense. She already has my mom's phone number. Unrelated. Anyway, so, the Taco Bell, where eventually, Midshift has a 4-person walkout, that is, 4 people left the store via walking out all at once. They, of course, were, summarily fired for their job abandonment, selective enforcement, and all that. Let's see, I'm pretty sure the aforementioned stupid drama with Dan happened, where he walked out, never to return. Let's see, Dylan left to go get a job at a bar, and then came back like a month later because... Oh yeah, yes, Donna's midget also left. It's too bad Steven really didn't work there anymore. He never would have hired her. He would have been terrified. Or he would have hired her because he was terrified. Anyway, apparently she's coming back, Donna, so that's going to be kind of awkward. She's coming back in the door as you're running out of the building screaming. Well, you two could probably still hook up outside of work. It's fine. Maybe you guys could hook up for a quickie, as you're leaving Burger Dog and she's going into Taco Bell. That would probably be somewhat unsatisfying for at least one of you. Anyway, let's see. So yeah, we had 4 people walk out. We have had so many people quit and just they just show up for the job, realize that there is some chicanery happening, and then quit to never return. And then some of them have attempted to return, but do not. Also, just because it's on my mind right now, Corey in the house is at the Arby's. He works there, and I will be attempting to regain some of my funding that I lent to him, just so I can not think about that anymore. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. So let's see, the aforementioned shithead from Rushville is now attempting to GM 3 stores at once, which is to say he is actively GMing 1 store at once, while the other 2 stores are being pretty much constantly managed by the AGMs. In this case, for us, that means Kelsey Fucker is managing the Greenberg, and she is not doing well with it. She constantly makes the same mistakes. There was no Mountain Dew on the truck. We are out of Mountain Dew at the store. If she does not fix this, I am not going into work. Somehow she became AGM without understanding scheduling key times, and she does the schedule. That's really fucking great. And, yeah, there's like 4 people that work on mid-shift. There's like 4 people that work on mid-shift now. I also partially work on mid-shift. I go in at 7 now on the regular and only work 4 days a week, which is awesome, except for on Thursdays where, it makes me want to reenact Columbine in our lobby. But hey, dramedy notwithstanding. I need to touch this stuff. I didn't get it all the way lit. Like an idiot. Are you taking notes, Dave? This will be on the test. Also, Donna, I saw that comment. It's a Monday. You'll live. Okay, good. Good. I'm glad you're keeping up. That's basically the short version of everything that's happening. I'm pretty sure once me and Donna, basically once I announce my departure, I would not be surprised if one of the mid-shift managers, Mander, doesn't announce her departure that same day. That'll be fucked. Because then mid-shift will only have 3 people. Ooh. It will be quite funny. It will be quite funny because I know Miss Fucker will, I know she will be subject to the crying as a result of this. It will be quite good. It will be quite good. But yeah, that's basically the short version of all the stupid shit that's been happening. I don't understand how we managed to get a higher caliber of stupid shit happening at this store with no Alberta. Also, Katie doesn't exist anymore. I don't understand. I don't understand. Also, apparently, people on Facebook are talking about boycotting Taco Bell and McDonald's as if that is a threat. You know, if I knew how to navigate Facebook, if I was proficient enough in Facebook navigation to get into that group to where I could post, I would basically tell them, you know, I'd basically go on to that post where it's like, well, I'm going to boycott Taco Bell. I'd go, promise, like make my fucking month. It's, you know, midnight is rolled over. It's June 1st. Make my fucking month. All right. You know, make my fucking month. It'll be great. Ugh. Not all is well in Teletubby land. But, you know, yeah, that's the short version of all the stupid shit that has elapsed. That is like the 4th time I've said that. You know? Yeah, you can tell that I've been up, like, eating, doing nothing but eating and playing Warframe for like 5 hours. Oh, the eating was so good. Warframe was kind of whatever, but you know, that's just what it is at this point. Now that I've gotten back into that, you know, old trappings and whatnot. Yeah. So yeah, what's been going on at the KFC, Dave? Has it been Kentucky Fried? Have you gotten Kentucky Fried? How many pounds of mashed potatoes have you eaten? Yeah. Okay. Well, hey, you know, good on you. I've heard it's a great game. That reminds me, I still have to edit down the Supreme Commander 2 shit. Fuck. I'm surprised Aiden's friends haven't been bothering me about that, but then again, they're still terrified of me. Oh, fucking yes, Dave. I'm still into Master Duel. I got. Ah, shit. Built an ignister. I built Hecka Hands. Just so I can fucking steal. You know, I don't need to have strong monsters. Yours will suffice. Also, Bread Boy, I saw you in the chat. Look, fucking, I was sick, and that has caused a delay. My next day off isn't until Tuesday. Yeah, see, that's what. Well, you might not be, but the other two seem to be. They seem to be petrified at the thought of being alone in a virtual voice chat room with me, without Aiden there to protect them. Yeah. I'll do. After stream, you little bitch. After stream, you fucking cunt. Okay, hold on a second. Dave, when you say Chicken Hut, are you talking about one of those funny combination restaurants? Are you working at a combination KFC Pizza Hut, or you just call it that? Oh, not filled with. I can't tell if that's sarcasm or not. Honestly, I could see it either way. Huh. No, they call. Okay. All right. Well, that's. I mean, sure. Okay. I would not be surprised if it was like some combination Pizza Hut. You know, I would not be surprised. But okay. Yeah. All right. Well, hey, whatever. Dave, had things turned out differently and Aiden and I got into that house we were looking at instead of the apartment, you could be living in a nice shed right now. Maybe not right now, but you could have been living in a nice shed soon. However, we're on the second floor and we can't put a shed up here. So, and we can't shack you up in the smoking closet because we smoke in here. And your rig and other such things would take up too much space. And also there's not a power outlet out here, so we'd have to run a long extension cord with a couple power strips, which I'm sure would not negatively impact the electricity bill at all. And I'm sure we would not at all be criticized or looked down upon for attempting to turn this closet into a Mexican clown car. So, all right, well, good to hear that the Kentucky Fried is doing well. How many pounds of mashed potatoes have you eaten? This is an important question. This is a really important question. Because if you're not going for the mashed potatoes, you're probably going for the mac and cheese. A lot. Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. KFC does not have bad mashed potatoes, so, it's one thing I'm not going to, deride you for. Shit, I would be eating a lot of mashed potatoes if, I worked at the KFC, because I probably wouldn't be able to get away with with feasting on the Colonel's deep fried goodness, and so, yeah, it'd be mashed potatoes and mac and cheese for me, and any spare chicken pieces I could get my hands on. But you also won't catch me dead working at the KFC here in town, because I hear they pay minimum wage. But then again, maybe I could negotiate a higher wage considering I'm not an ex-con. Which, I'm not dissing ex-cons. I'm just saying the KFC here is kind of exploitative. And that's most unfortunate. Especially since minimum wage is definitely not livable. Then again, I guess if you're in that halfway house, it's probably okay, but still, it's not even close to ideal. It's not even good. I still hear the air conditioner outside, and I am going to have to open this door to ventilate the smoke. My eyes aren't burning yet, but I can smell the haze. Ugh. Yeah. So let's see. What have I been doing? What have I been playing? Let's see. I got back into Warframe, which some might consider to be a mistake, but the game has returned to what it was before I quit, and I enjoy that. I enjoy the grinding. Duet Night Abyss has been kind of a flop, which sucks because, whatever. The devs are working on it, it's improving. Hopefully it can improve enough to not EOS immediately, mostly because I like the story. I like the darkness of it. I like the aesthetic. And it's also, it's also got women in it, so of course I'm going to enjoy it. Let's see. Snowbreak died and came back. So I was depressed for a while, and then I was not depressed, and then, when I actually logged in, I was depressed again. And then I may or may not have installed some third-party files and stopped being depressed again. Not bad. Mecha Break is, of course, improving all the time, now that they have a whole new dev team, basically. That's a whole story and fiasco, apparently. I don't know what the fuck they're doing at Season, but, whatever. I still play Azure Lane occasionally. Path to Nowhere has fallen off completely, even though I love that game. I just don't have the time. I guess I took a break from Helldivers to play Warframe because I'm kind of sick of Helldivers for now. Yeah. You know, I had my Bram Stoker's Oh. Aiden's in the Aiden! What the fuck? I expected you to come out here and have an excuse for opening the door. Dave is in chat, Aiden. Oh no, there he is. He's coming. He's coming.
So it's smoking.
Yeah.
You gotta clean that after.
I know. Dave is in chat. Say hi to Dave.
Dave, hello. I saw you said you got back into Master Duel. I'm disappointed in you. And game was a cancer.
Yes, it is. We all have our vices.
She's just choosing digital cancer over the real cancer that we are choosing.
Chemotherapy for Master Duel is easy. Just uninstall the game.
It's a much easier addiction to break.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, unrelated to all that, if you ever run a full load of laundry through the dryer, you're going to have to run it twice.
Noted.
Found that out today.
Well, I mean, it was those appliances were a steal.
Oh yeah, $200 was cheap.
Yeah, those were a steal, and if that's the only idiosyncrasy we have to deal with, I'll take that.
Ended up playing some Space Marine 2 yesterday.
That was probably a really good time.
It was pretty fun.
Because I enjoyed the original Space Marine.
Yeah, I played the new class, Tech Marine. I quite like it.
But
shit. I don't know, what are you doing? Besides, because you can't game here as your phone, can you?
no.
I don't think so.
So I updated Dave on the timeline of stupid shit happening at Taco Bell. That has happened at Taco Bell. And the potentiality of the timeline to come.
No, that's fair. Alright, I gotta work.
Yeah.
See you later.
Later.
I'll leave this cracked for you.
Thank. Okay, he did leave it cracked. Is the air conditioner noise really bad? Do I need to shut the door again? Because this is mostly that. Him opening that door basically sucked out most of the haze in here. Is the air conditioner noise really bad? Hello? Shit, all my chatters abandoned me. Oh, there we go. No? Perfect. Fantastic. I'll still close it though. Just to isolate. And, I'll just crack it every now and then. Oh yeah, while my memory still serves, the channel hit 100 subscribers, and I should probably say something about that. I technically just did. Go me. Go me. I did it, Mom! 100 subscribers. Shit, I just realized. Donna, I forgot to ask for the feet pics. Shit. I'll remember tomorrow. Yes, I have finally hit 3 view status. Well, if I was a VTuber, but I'm not. I am of the flesh. I guess technically 3 view status doesn't just apply to them. But I've hit 3 view status. Ooh. Technically not, but whatever. Did this go out because of the airflow? Hold on. No. It may need a touch. Yeah, well. Let's take some longer, slower draws on it, or just puff it, I don't know. Dave, what made you settle on Ignister, of all things? Like, there's a whole bunch of cool new archetypes coming out. I mean, shit, fucking the new branded cards are coming out in a few days. And some Archfiend stuff. And those pendulum flip monsters that require you to read a graphic novel to understand. There's a whole bunch of cool new archetypes out. You chose an older one. Then again, I guess I shouldn't talk. I still play Monarchs. No. New Archfiend, yeah. Oh, well, yeah, pen flip shit. It's pen flip shit. It's gonna be wild. But anyway, yeah, Bread Boy, yeah, there's a new Archfiend card. Make it back on Master. See, okay, the Archfiend card that's coming out is a ritual pen monster, which it just fills me with dread, but it probably does something good for the deck. You know, despite detractors saying that Archfiend is only useful as support for Regenesis. I don't know what that is, so I'm just going to assume that they're wrong. But let's see, hold on. So let's see, the new update is Branded, Dogmatica, Archfiend, the pen flip monsters, and something else. There's 5 cards. There's 2 branded cards. Well, one of them's a branded Dogmatica card. Dogmatica, Archfiend, and oh yeah, no, that's all 5. That's the flip pen monsters that basically just like force everything face down. Quite good. Could be quite funny. However, you know, if you're playing a flip deck, that's just going to benefit you. So ninja players rejoice. If you go up against, you know, the new pen flip nonsense, you will have quite a fun time with that. Methinks, or Minaghoul, or fucking some low rarity illusion shit. I will still be running my new hands deck so that I can steal everything that you love and then laugh at you for being poor. Yeah. It makes me feel like a CEO. Toon could be fun. Toon could be a fun play. Oh, Dave, I built a funny Egyptian god deck. It was so expensive. It's 60 cards and it's like 55 URs. But I built a funny Egyptian god deck. It's quite good. I have to think when I'm using it. Otherwise, I will misplay like a motherfucker and lose. Oh yeah, it's fucked. But it's a lot of fun at the same time. Yeah, also, yeah, it's the June 1st. Master Duel has the season is reset, so all of us are probably a rookie once again, which means we just have to sit through, you know, some tryhards in rookie just to rank up and then beat their asses in bronze. And then sit through more bullshit in the rest of bronze and silver. Only in, you know, it only seems like gold is where things get better. You know, and then you get up to master and it's like, well, this is gonna be a slog. Yeah. Oh, fucking, well, you know. Especially, well, see, bronze is a slog because you have to deal with tryhards. Master is a slog because you just have to win all the time. You know, if you don't want to D rank, it's whatever. You know, it can be fun enough. It can be fun, especially since Malice is basically out of rotation. Now that Malice is out of rotation, we don't need to run Artifact Lancea and can actually like play different decks and have fun. You know? You know, Aiden is or back when Aiden last played Master Duel, he put together a Boral Rocket deck with some and managed to pull off some whack ass plays that to his benefit. It was quite fun to watch. The duel was quite fun to watch, and I'm sure it was quite fun to engage in. Maybe in hindsight, but still, it was a good watch. I was not expecting some of the plays, but you know, then again, I don't know everything about Boral Rocket. My interests lie elsewhere. I still need to finish building my Dragon Rulers deck, so that way Aiden can fucking beat me with Rocket Arrow Express, and I can, you know, and I can contemplate my death. But yeah, the game can be quite fun, but sometimes it's just not. Also, apparently, there's a new solo gate where you face an opponent with 40,000 life points. You know, and I'm sitting there going, yeah, okay, the fuck? You know, good. You know, 40,000 life points. How am I going to get through that one, Batman? Well, you know, I have a new deck that lets me steal everything, so, you know, I guess I'll just steal my opponent's board and beat him with it. That might actually work. I know the Fire King's Gate is fucking cancer. The Fire King's Gate fucking sucks. But, you know, it's because it's Fire Kings, you know. Board wipe, board wipe, board wipe. Fire Kings, you know, the Fire Kings AI is sitting there cooking up the 12th board wipe this turn. I have nothing left. I have nothing left but contempt. Also, those AI, they gave those AI, you know, those AI gates fucking ash blossoms, like, oh, fun, great fun. I love it. You know, definitely doesn't make me contemplate my death. Anyway, I am gonna need to touch this up, because that, you know, I guess fucking opening the door and having a short conversation fucked this thing. Also, I need to rehydrate the box a little bit, it seems. There we go. Anyway, returning to the subject of conversation before Aiden came out here. No, Dave, I am not contemplating playing Honkai Star Rail. I don't have the time, unfortunately. But even if I did, I probably wouldn't, because my time would be better spent elsewhere on different pursuits, such as such as engineering the suffering of, of those around me. Specifically my former college roommate. He must suffer for his crimes. also, yeah, also I have to also devote myself to, the pursuit of defense. Donna is going to show up here at this apartment one day like a stray cat and demand my attention. I will need to be adequately prepared for that. And as for how I'm going to be adequately prepared for that, I have no idea. I don't know, maybe I'll hire a bunch of, midget prostitutes to lurk around the premises. And, it's basically just like, all right, this is Donna, and if you see her, you immediately must try to engage her in sex. This will repel her. Just have cake? That's not going to repel you, that's going to draw you to the location. Speaking of which, I need to raid my mom's place for another can of raid. I noticed a bunch of ants outside and I need to destroy them. I'm not going to have cake, I'm just going to solicit male midget prostitutes to repel you from this place. Because I know that is one of your weaknesses. You will be... Hello? Light flicker. Hopefully that light bulb doesn't die, otherwise it's like, alright, welcome to, Streaming in the Dark once again, brought to you by not Martinsville this time. I really need to get some screens, so that way, if this light bulb dies, it's not really going to be a big issue. Aiden and I will just need to go to the store and get more light. Ugh. My schedule has the potential to just change horribly. And by horribly, I mean radically. It's late for me, so, weaving words is not exactly the easiest thing. Donna, I don't need the light bulb now. Which, speaking of, that reminds me, I do actually need a light bulb for the fridge. But that can wait, because the fridge isn't exactly getting a lot of use right now. Which is fine. I mean, how much shit do you expect two bachelors to have in the fridge? Especially since I take most of my beverages at room temperature, and Aiden... Yeah. Anyway. The fridge doesn't get a lot of use right now, so the light bulb for the fridge is not exactly a high priority. I'm pretty sure it's still sitting on the counter, though. Ugh. Just another thing. I also need to buy peppermint oil to spray around the corners and edges of the rooms in order to prevent the spoders. So that way Aiden doesn't, go into a berserker rage and then, attempt to compel me to vanquish them. Because that's something that I need to devote myself to. Then again, I've also killed 4 spiders in my room alone, so that's kind of shitty. I would prefer not to do that, but, so peppermint oil, great spider repellent. Then again, I guess also spraying that can of Raid all over the balcony has been effective. The spoders have not returned, at least to my knowledge, but I also haven't been coming out here in the early mornings after work. It seems I've mostly managed to break that habit. Then again, this week has been rather tumultuous, so, that could change. Then again, I suppose if my schedule changes, there won't be a lot of, my schedule will, flip to where I would smoke more during the day as opposed to in the early morning, and also after work, but not such that it would cause problems with my sleeping. Oh. Now well. The future is uncertain, definitely. But given that I won't be working at Taco Bell anymore, I'm willing to say that it'll be quite bright. So that will be quite good. You know, it's just I don't I need to get a job that's not customer service. Holy shit. If I never have to face another customer again, it will be too soon. It will be too soon, but it'll be so good. That I won't be, that and not getting a managerial position. I'm tired of managing. It sucks. It's not worth the money. At least at Taco Bell, it's not. That's one of the things. It's one of the few things that David was right about. The whole ocean is the gateway to space is dubious, and the whole the bowl supporting the firmament is also dubious at best. But he was right about the management thing. Broken clock and all that. Then again, I suppose it's more of a wacko clock than a broken clock. Then again, I guess a wacko clock has the potential to be right more than a broken clock. Either way. Another thing, but if I do get this new job, there is something that must absolutely be not done under any circumstance once I do so, and that is my dad must never know, because I'm sure that will elicit a rant, and I don't want to put up with that. Among many other things. But hey, give it a few months, I'll have the dosh. I'll have the dosh I was always meant to have. And by have the dosh I always meant to have, I mean I'm gonna be eradicating debts. I am sick of paying for these things. I've said that multiple times before, but fuck, it's really wearing on me. Last year was quite tumultuous, but it was also really cool because the boys, who seem to be doing okay, variably. Some better than others, but that's just natural, The lizard has stabilized for now, although it seems that he's embraced his anger. I should go back to Martinsville and drop in on that store and go, "What up, lizard? It's me, the pizza father. I've returned. I have milk, I have cigarillos." This will elicit yet more laughs, as it did the first time. The same joke is funnier the second time. It'll probably be equally funny, let's be honest. Okay, this thing is just not gonna burn on the outside now. Epic. We love that. Oh yeah, Dave, I almost broke my finger. That's something that happened on the Taco Bell timeline that I neglected to mention. I nearly broke one finger on my hand because I was an idiot and, forgot, hey, the door is closing. But, that's just what happens sometimes. The finger did not break, fortunately, but I did lose feeling for a while. It's back to normal though. Doesn't even hurt to knock it on things anymore. Which I tested that today. Alright, let me see if I can get this. Let me see if I can, because the center is burning just fine. It's the wrapper that's not burning. Come on, baby. Burn for me. Burn, you fucker. Slip the band off. Yeah, I got fucking nothing off of that. Holy shit. Alright, I'm gonna have to puff on this for a minute. The wrapper is burning, but now the center isn't. You gotta be fucking kidding me. I also have to be careful blowing in the direction of the ashtray because there's a lot of ashes, as you can see. I guess when I get back to the apartment tonight, I can dump this thing into something. I have a Walmart bag sitting around. Okay, there we go. Okay. There we go. We sort of got it back. I think I'm going to have to puff on this a little bit more. So what's going on with you guys? You know, is the morning as pleasant for you as it is for me? I mean, yeah, I'm in a closet, but you know, it's not bad. I've been in worse situations. What's going on with you guys? Right, yes. The work day has just started, though. I'm sure something stupid will happen, and you'll tell me about it later. Yeah, alright. Good. Ugh. Donna, are you still alive? Or has your nerve damage finally taken you to the great beyond? Am I going to need to bring a Ouija board into Taco Bell in order to bind your spirit to that place forever? No, she didn't respond. I'm going to assume she's dead. This is most unfortunate. Oh, just play. Oh, right, that's that one game that you've recently become obsessed with. Most good. Also, before I forget, hello, Mindy. It is me, the internet man, who showed up at your house the other day. Ooh, I'm talking to you from the internet. You don't like that for some reason. Ooh. This is just really not cooperating with me at all. Oh. Well, that's no fun. Yeah, so fucking. It's having some issues here. The wrap is burning severely unevenly now. which is, fantastic. I love that. Hold on. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna take one big, long, slow draw and see if that helps get it going again. Or at least straighten it out a little bit. Here we go. Here goes nothing. Hmm. Most concerning. Alright, I'm not going to puff on it. This is going to require a collection of long, slow draws to properly, get it. Hold on. Here we go again. Come on, baby. Yeah, I can see a little piece of the wrap burning. But I also can't see where it's burning inside. I might just say fuck it and go get the torch. Oh, wait, no, there it is. Okay, we haven't burned too far down in comparison to the wrap. My long, slow draw strategy seems to be working. Once more! Okay, there we go. It seems to have mostly corrected the issue. It is flowering a little bit, but that's just because of the unevenness of the burn. Let's just chip away at this a little bit. All right. Anyway, let's see, what else, what is there to speak on? I still haven't finished moving. This, I've got the basics, including, enough clothes, but fuck, I still haven't brought over, towels and shit. And there's still a lot of work to be done over at Mom's. I feel a burp. I can feel it. It's caught somewhere in the trachea. I can feel it. I was hoping that, the vibrations from speaking would kind of rattle it, and it feels like it's working, but it's also not working, as evidenced by the fact that I have not burped yet. Yet I keep speaking. Come on. Come on. No? Alright. Fine, I'll just suppress it. Oh, that was a bad idea. No, we're good. No, we're good. We're fine. Alright, well. False alarm. False alarm. It's still there. I still feel it. Come on. Nope, okay. I think I've gotten a little smoke down in my stomach. Ugh. Not a good feeling. Oh, there it is. Okay. Excuse me. Woo. Oh, I feel much better now. Now that pressure is gone, oh my god. It's like a sneeze, but, it's just, there's pressure there. And it just doesn't feel good at all. Sneeze kind of takes you out of the moment. This is just like, ugh. I feel a little, I definitely feel, it feels off. Oh, now it fucking went out. Okay. You stupid. Alright, we're gonna just scrape off as much of the ash as we can here. Do a proper relight. Yeah. This thing. Trouble. It was doing so good, and then it wasn't suddenly. I'm sure I am not to blame for that at all. Alright, let's do a long, slow draw now that we got some ignition. There we go, there's a proper draw. Awesome. Good. Dave, since you're still in the chat, I'll let you know some things that happened. So I went to a job interview in Indianapolis for a marketing company, right? And I thought, this is going to be awesome. They're like, they're saying stuff like $900 a week, with bonuses and all this and that. And then I get there, I get to the interview, and then they start telling me the schedule. The schedule was going to be 11 to 8:30, Monday through Friday. Keep in mind that, I would have to commute an hour one way, so there's an extra 2 hours of driving on top of that. Which given that it's warming up, the roads are under maintenance right now, which makes any kind of interstate driving just a miserable experience. On top of that, they also wanted me to work Saturdays 9 to 4, keep with the 2 hours of driving on top of that. This was an in-person kind of thing. And the money was also not exactly what they said. I'd be making $900 a week after like 3 to 6 months. But before that, it would be much less because of, the training, as it were, which, didn't sound great. Long work hours, the horrible commute, I ended up, they offered me the position, and I said, I'm going to have to decline, unfortunately. It wasn't right. If I lived in Indianapolis or, even in Greenwood, it wouldn't be so bad. But, yeah, living an hour away fucking sucks. Whatever. So I decided to look more local. And I've, also decided, a hiring agency will help me out here, So we're looking for something a little bit more local, hopefully an office job. Something that will, pay my bills and also get me away from customers. I can mindlessly do paperwork all day. There were some days back when I was working in Seymour that I did that. It was great. I love those days. Just me and the paperwork. A lunch break in between, it was all good stuff. I can do paperwork mindlessly forever. It's great. It'll give me time to think on things. How to fuck up VTC even more. It'll be awesome. Aiden does that already. Which has yielded some results that will be properly classified once we test some of those things. So I could do the same thing. Just shut my mind off and paperwork. Of course, I guess if I just get like a regular factory job, I can do the same thing and just, repetitive task. Eventually it'll become muscle memory. I really can just fully shut off, be a worker drone. It'll be awesome. We'll see what ends up happening with it. I have high hopes. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's like I said a bunch. God, I can't stop burping. It's like I said last year. My optimism is tempered with, my optimism is tempered. So, hoping for the best. Fingers crossed. If I had stuck with the therapy and maybe pushed a little bit harder to work in Rushville, maybe I could have been on a better track. But therapy just was not for me. That industry has some problems that I did not really jive with, as I have previously explained. Kind of a giant turnoff, really. But that's just kind of what happens with these things. Some people study and get into the field that they studied for, only to find that the field that they study as a job sucks. I was one of those people. Most unfortunate. Maybe I can find a hot Honda lady. That would be fucking sweet. Oh my god. Most of the people that I've spoken to, about such things have said, oh, if you want to find a woman, you're going to have to leave Indiana. It's like, well, shit, I hate traveling. So that's probably a no-go. But hey, there's always the chance. There's always the chance that I could, find somebody who is capable of putting up with my derangement, which would prove Nips and Wezzy correct. Which, honestly, I was about to say that I would not be down for that, but it would be quite good. Insert reference to crude joke made at the beginning of stream, but yeah, maybe. If nothing else, I'll keep trying to get Diane to sit on my face, and that'll be the highlight of my life. Wezzy can't be allowed to be correct. Well, shit. Then you're going to have to convince Wezzy to change his opinion to the other team. All right, in which I will leave you to exercise your powers of persuasion to do that. Go find the booty nurse. Oh my god, Donna, I don't think I have a chance with the booty nurse. I don't think I have a chance with the booty nurse. Plus I would have to, find myself at Batesville Hospital for at least a semi-legitimate reason, other than, booty nurse hunting. What's in it for you? Well, I don't know. You can manipulate Wezzy. That seems like it would be reason enough. Which could be quite fun and lead to other hilarious outcomes, such as Donna, I'm not going to be able to do that because I am also going to be distracted. You have to get your sister to do that, because she seems to not be distracted. Because you were completely distracted, and if it was as, perfect and shapely as you describe, I too will not be able to think. I'll just be sitting there going, oh, she's going to say stuff at me, and none of it will absorb. And I'm going to look like a creep because I'm a guy. All right, it's okay when you do it because you're a woman. Okay, Aiden, I think you're latching onto the wrong thing here, but yeah, I can also provide myself with a reason to go to the hospital. Like, I have knives, it's fine. You know, I even considered driving to the Batesville Hospital parking lot and stabbing myself, and then, you know, hobbling in there like, hey, you know, I mean, I guess I'm fine with getting blood in my car, but you have to be fine with driving my car. Which, I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't be. It's a car. It's not, you know, it's not a complicated vehicle to drive, unless you're Donna, in which case you will be off-put by the fact that it makes sound. Ugh. You know, I think I might leave this as half and then smoke the rest of it when I get back from job hunting. You know, I think I'll do that. Set that down right there. Yeah, all right. If you, I mean, I guess if you say so, Donna. Ugh. Ow. I hope this burn on the back of my hand heals quickly, because man, ever since I peeled off the top layer, it just stings all the time. Now that it's been exposed to the air. You know, exposing it to the, you know, smoke of the, you know, to the smoke probably isn't helping at all, but, you know, whatever. Oh well, I suppose. Also, I realized I didn't plug in the power bank to the phone. And mostly because the phone was at full charge, which I realized I also haven't done battery check the whole time. Gotta do that. Now we're sitting at 71, it's fine. I don't even need the power bank, even though the power bank is also fully charged. Just pop that into the pocket so I don't forget it like an idiot later. But at least I have Tuesday and Wednesday off, so that way I can potentially unwind a little bit, you know, stretch a little bit, get something done, hopefully. Not that I'm not going to get anything done today, you know, I've got shit to do, but, you know, Tuesday, Wednesday, days off. And then Thursday, you know, mentally prepare for that anguish. That's going to be great. I'm going to hate that. Ooh. I hate Thursdays. I hate Thursdays so much. Fridays aren't so bad, but Thursdays, every Thursday has been terrible. I will be looking to get away from that. You know? Which we'll see. We will see. It's, fingers crossed. Fingers double crossed. Fingers triple crossed, even. You know, for a palatable result. One that can be enacted relatively quickly as well. That will be great. That will be most good. But, you know. Alright. So I'm going to clean up now. At least, you know, as much as I want to. And then, you know, when I get back from work at 2 a.m., which will probably be close to 2:30 with all things considered, you know, I'll do some more cleaning in here. Not that it's going to, you know, matter over much to my viewing audience. But, you know, thanks everybody. Thanks Dave for making a guest star appearance. You know, and Aiden, a brief in-person appearance, though you were not seen. You know, I'm sure that the microphone kind of sort of picked you up amidst the air conditioner noise. You know, for those of you who are interested, I will let you know how things go on the hunt. And for those of you who aren't interested, well, you know, I'll probably end up talking about it next stream anyway, so. You know, you'll hear about it either way. Haha. But until next time, later. Bleh.